Here you go. Breaking news just into our newsroom in New York City. The New York mayoral candidate Anthony Weiner now admits he sent additional explicit photos and text to a woman online. The new lewd correspondence posted yesterday by the gossip site The Dirty. The woman involved was not identified. Anthony Weiner resigned from Congress in June of 2011 after acknowledging that he did have sexual conversations with at least a half dozen women. Julie Banderas has these new developments from our newsroom here in New York City. Julie.
Yeah, Shepard. Well, we all know, and it's no news to any of us in the news business or outside of it, that Anthony Weiner has a bit of an odd sex fetish when it comes to texting, photographing himself, sending it to women other than his marriage. In fact, that's what ended his congressional career. These inappropriate sex fetishes now exploding because we're getting more information about the disgraced congressman, now New York City mayor hopeful. He's in hot water again, and as far as we know, he resigned due to those illicit texts. Well, now there are more. The question is whether or not these text messages were sent during or after his resignation. Remember, he came out and issued that heartfelt apology to not only his wife, but to the public for disgracing and embarrassing not only himself, but the women involved, whom we do not know. Well, now a statement comes out from Weiner's office, and I'm going to read it to you. And this is speaking on behalf of Anthony Weiner himself in response to these latest text messages that were on The Dirty, as you called it. It's a website appropriately named. Here is a statement, and I'm going to read it. I said that other texts and photos were likely to come out, and today they have. As I have said in the past, these things that I did were wrong and hurtful to my wife and caused us to go through challenges in our marriage that extended past my resignation from Congress. While some things that have been posted today are true and some are not, there is no question that what I did was wrong. This behavior is behind me. I've apologized to Huma and am grateful that she has worked through these issues with me and for her forgiveness. I want to say that I am very sorry to anyone who was on the receiving end of these messages and the disruption that this has caused. As my wife and I have said, we are focused on moving forward. We are attempting to get more of those photographs, as much as we're almost afraid to see what's in them. There were questions, though, as to when this exactly happened. As you know, he did apologize, and he said that he was seeking help, and he publicly admitted his wrongdoings. We also have to note that, of course, this is someone who was running for mayor of New York City. And up until the most recent polls, he was polling pretty well. He possibly had a very good chance. How this is going to affect that or not, he thought he was healed, or at least he tried to convince the New York City public that he was the healed man and was making it up to his wife and trying to move on. So this is coming, obviously, at a very horrible time for his political career. We'll have to wait and see what more comes out of this.
Yeah. Julie Banderas in the newsroom. Julie, thanks. Well, I've taken the liberty of going to thedirty.com. And at thedirty.com, the headline is exclusive image in all caps, : Anthony Weiner penis pictures and timeline. And they have a picture there, and it's him standing up, and you see his feet down there on the ground. It's like he's doing like this, and it's all blurry. But the part that would take you to that site, you don't see it. It's blurry, but I'm sure you can move on and find more of those pictures of the man who, in some polls, is leading in the mayoral race in New York City. Arthur Aidala knows him. You went to his wedding, did you?
I went to his wedding. I know Anthony.
His wedding, by the way, was at the home of Bill and Hillary Clinton in Chappaqua, and it was well attended by all the enfants in town, including Arthur.
And I know him since 1997 when he ran for Congress. And
He's never sent you a picture like this, huh?
He's never sent me a picture like this, Shepard. I'm trying to keep a straight face, sir.
Yes, sir.
What Anthony Weiner was able to prove, and which definitely gave Eliot Spitzer the
there was client number 9
to jump into the race, was at this point the people of New York City looked at the field
and the photo, and
before the sexting scandal with Weiner, he was the leading mayoral candidate.
Of course.
I mean, by far.
Yep.
And they were willing to put it aside and say, okay, look, he did some weird stuff on the computer. It's behind him, and he came out of the gate gangbusters. He's got the money. He's got the name recognition. He's got the polling numbers. And then Spitzer comes in, took a little bit of the wind out of Anthony's sails because Anthony wasn't in the front page of the paper anymore. And that's all you want right now, Shepard, is name recognition.
Well, this will do it. This will help.
Now he's going to be back. Now he's going to be back in the front.
He'll be back on, yeah.
Not for good things, obviously. I mean, what Anthony Weiner's statement says, some of the things are true and some of them are not true. In my opinion, it's the timeline that's going to count. Did this happen last week, last month, a year ago, a week after the scandal? It's a little unclear from his statement. whether the citizens of New York don't care. And Shepard, this country has a history of not caring about people's sexual...
parts of this country.
Well, I'm talking about presidents of the United States.
Yeah.
I mean,
everywhere.
What
Yep.
JFK was doing wasn't exactly a secret. What Lyndon
Yep.
Johnson was doing wasn't exactly a secret.
Right.
So, and Spitzer's leading the poll as well. And he clearly cheated on his wife. I mean, Anthony never is not alleged of touching another human being. Spitzer clearly cheated on his wife, and he's leading in the polls. What does that say about New York City? What does that say about society?
He was accused of crimes, actually, Elliot Spitzer.
Yes, and he basically...
And don't even think this comptroller job is not a big deal here in the New York. It is a big, big deal. And with Spitzer as comptroller in a hypothetical world, and Weiner as mayor in this same hypothetical world, there's a lot going on there.
And they're working together all the time, and the comptroller is definitely the biggest, closest stepping stone to being the next mayor. So I don't know what this says about everyone, but Anthony's better handle this press correctly because he has a real shot at being the mayor.
We have actually 4 people at the table now. Does anyone else care to weigh in on this?
As Stephen Colbert said to Elliot Spitzer just the other night, shouldn't somebody running for comptroller have a measure of self-control?
That's a good way to look at
He
it.
never sent you a picture either, right?
No, they never sent me a picture, but I could just imagine every woman behind the ballot box sitting there like, who should I choose for mayor? Oh, the one who went like this and then sent that picture. I don't think so. I think he's got some serious problems.
Well, you know, everybody thought he had a lot of problems when all this happened, and it was, you know, all this news, and then I think you and I were even talking about it. You were like, no, this Manhattan borough president. We have 5 boroughs. Each borough has a president. The one who's the president of Manhattan running for mayor. Been running for mayor since Fluff. Controller. Been running for controller since Fluff was a kitten.
Correct.
And Fluff's a full-grown cat.
And everyone backed out, and he was sitting pretty drinking iced tea the other day, and then Elliot Spitzer comes out of the woodwork, and he's 10 points ahead of him in the polls. But people are looking at competence, and everyone believed Anthony Weiner was the most competent guy. I mean,
but what
according
about
to the
trust?
polls.
I mean, if you don't trust someone who does something this weird, there's going to be a big issue of whether he can win or not.
You know, when client number 9 is running for comptroller, and Anthony Weiner is, there's just too much there. There's too much available material.
Yes.
As a result, I propose that after a commercial break, we return to the royal baby.